All right, people, it is August 1st, and it is countdown for taking these kids, if you haven't already done so, off to college. So, as a mom who's done this recently, about 2 years ago, let me just tell you, parents, buckle up. Buckle up for the experience, buckle up for the chaos, buckle up for the joy of it all. So just buckle up. It's a lot of preparation. It's a lot of money to get these kids ready. I can't tell you the amount of money I've spent getting my daughter ready. Even though we've had a lot of help from family and gifts, just a little, excuse that noise in the bad guy riding his little motorcycle up and down the street, but even with the help that we've gotten, and we greatly appreciate everyone who has contributed to my daughters when they have left, any of my kids when they've left, this one's my last, and it's just super expensive. I want to make sure she has everything she needs. Want to make sure she has everything the rest of them had. So parents, make sure you make a list. Check it twice. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So you're going to need some tools, especially if your child is lofting their bed. You might need a mallet, mallet. It's like a hammer type thing. Bring a screwdriver, bring a drill. Just bring things just in case. Because like I said, you'd rather have it and don't need the item than need something and have to find somebody you've got to borrow it from. But I'm going to give you my experience. We're heading up to UMICH, Ann Arbor again. Have one up there. Second one's on her way. The three olders are already graduated and done. So again, my last one's going up. But I'm going to help you get ready. Because like I said, planning, your preparation is going to make all the difference in the world as to how successful you are on move-in day. All right, so here are some things that you should have definitely already done, because like I said, we're in August, and if you're one of those ones that have to get to the end of August and it's moving day, you don't have a lot of time. I have 25 days before I have to do my daughter's move. So some of the things we did for preparation was, when she graduated, we definitely had a wish list. She did an Amazon wish list, Walmart wish list, whatever stores your child wants to shop at. Put those registries together, put those wish lists together, because you just don't know what family members may be willing to help buy something. I don't care if they buy towels. I don't care if they buy a washcloth. It's all relevant. It's all needed, and it's all a help. So whatever little bit of help you can get from family and friends when you're doing this preparation, that's the better. So what we did, she had a little graduation party, and she had a wish list, and I printed it out. And her wish list, mind you, was, God, how many pages is this? I don't even know how many pages this is. Now, and this is 11 by 8.5 by 11. 8.5 by 14 paper, I think. So this is even longer paper, and these are pages of stuff she needed for school. So when she had her thing, people bought off this list, and then once they bought and she got those gifts, I was able to go back and see what she still needed. So that's how we created our shopping list from her registry of stuff she did not get. So if you've got a senior, get ready to start high school, Not start high school, but start on their senior year, especially if you know you have a student that is academically on point. You already know your baby going to college. That's the trajectory of their life. It's not even a question. Start planning now. Do not wait till that last minute to think about college. And again, especially if you don't have a good support system. If you got your child starting their senior year, it's an expensive year, baby. It's expensive. You got prom, you got senior dues, you got the extras. Senior year to college is expensive. So start, if you can, plan. Start now with your senior. If you're like me and it's go time, then hopefully you did some of these things, or you're going to have to do them. Make a list for every single thing they need. Okay, you want to make a list. I am a list person, so operating off list is going to be in your best interest. And your list should be from your child's sanitary needs, hygiene products, hair care products, sewing kit, first aid kits, medications, clothing, command strips, power strips, because usually a lot of the dorms don't have a lot of plugs, so you're going to need power strips, batteries, thumbtacks, dry erase boards, corkboard, whatever your child needs to have a functioning, good experience that year. You need to put it on the list to make sure you have it, because again, that little crap adds up. I can show you where I've bought and spent $200-300 on a bunch of little crap. That's, so you definitely want a list. That list is going to save your life. And then check off, as you see, that we did as I bought stuff. We start, checking it off. Okay, got this. And it helped us stay organized. So again, senior parents, you're going to want to do this. You might find, medication on or certain things, because, you don't want to still date stuff. But certain items that you can find, maybe, if your child uses bars of soap's not going to go bad in a year. You find it on sale. Get it, put it in a plastic bin, put it up. I don't care if it's paper towel. You start finding stuff that are non-perishable items and you get a sale. Pick that baby on up, pick it up, put it in a bin. That's one less thing you have to buy, because I don't care if your kid still has a meal plan. They're still going to want things in their room, whether it's a cup, their microwave, a refrigerator still for their room for when they have leftovers or whatever. You have to think about all of these things. Otherwise, your child's going to be up there feeling left out, comparing to what others have. So give them as much as you can to, again, make them comfortable, because studying is going to be hard enough. So start with a list. Now that you got your list and you're starting to take stuff off the list, you're going to want to put everything in one location. Do not buy stuff for your child's dorm or your college leave and you have it all over the house. Find one location, put everything in that spot, because if you buy it 6 months out, 3 months out, heck, sometimes even a week, a day or two out, you lose it. So if you don't put everything that is for that move out in one spot, you're going to have things that you forgot you bought, or you're not going to be able to find it when it's time to start packing. So find one area in the home, in your child's bedroom. Like I said, a big plastic bin is a good idea to start, and just put all your bags, all your things in one location, because up next is packing. And the way that your child packs is going to make all the difference in the world when it's time to set that room up and unpack. The worst thing you can do is have your stuff just thrown random, no organization, no rhyme or reason to where things are. And when you move them in that room, which is probably already small, you know, you got a shared room with a roommate, probably moving into a much smaller space than they're used to, you're going to have to make it do what it do. And so you want to be able to find things that you need, whether, hey, at first we need our power strips, or no, actually, first things out the box, you need your cleaning supplies. I don't care if you think you visually walk in and it looks clean. Clean it for yourself. Why? Get you some. We bought a ton of the bulk pack of Clorox wipes. So all her stuff is going to sit in the hall. Well, her roommate actually is moving in a few days before her, so I'm sure she would have cleaned like the floor and stuff like that for her move in. But still, my daughter's side, I want to wipe the bed down before I lay her. You know, I want to wipe the mattress down with a Clorox wipe. You know, spray it with some Lysol before I put her bedding on, because I don't know how clean someone else cleaned prior to, or if they even cleaned. They could have just took their bedding off and like, that's not my problem. So the first products you really want to have when you walk in that room is cleaning products. So the way that we pack is going to be how easy or hard it is when you're getting in that room and getting everything adapted. Mark your bins, mark your stuff, be organized with packing. It's just plain and simple as that. All right, you all, so we're talking about packing. If you're like me, you're 25 days out from move-in date. Every day moving forward is very essential. My daughter ain't got time to be playing at this point, because 20-something days is going to go by fast. And again, I'm all about, we got to do this organized. I done this a few times. My first daughters, okay, that's a while ago. So 2 years ago, my daughter was organized, but not. So that was kind of crazy. So this time around, we're going to be a lot more organized. We're going to definitely, all of what I'm telling you all is what we're doing. Putting stuff in like items. We're marking our boxes, marking our stuff. Put it together. You want to start every day doing something, and it's a good time now to start with your child's winter stuff. Stuff they're not wearing, stuff they're not using. Purge out. Don't just pull everything out the closet, out the drawers, and pack it. No. Some of that stuff they don't need. They need to go through it. It doesn't fit. It's got holes. It's raggedy. It's fine for the house. But we're not taking that. So purge clothes, pack up all the winter items. They're not using shoes, all that. Put it somewhere in a bin and mark it winter items. Then slowly, as all the things they don't need every day, start putting up. Those bins we talked about of all the stuff you bought, it's a good time now to start taking those bins out and setting them up. All the medication stuff together, all the hygiene stuff together, all the room decor together, all the bedding together, all the electrical items together. Whatever your child has, put like items with like items, because I'm telling you, when you're ready to unpack the room and you're looking for stuff, you want to be able to just look at a box and say, okay, here's the power cords. You know, okay, here's your undergarments, here's your sleepwear, whatever that is. You want to be able to find it quickly. It's okay to leave clothes on hangers if you can. It doesn't make sense to take them off the hangers, fold them, and then have to get up in the room and rehang everything up. So if you can just put them in garment bags, if you can put big garbage bags over them, get some, you know, the hangers, rubber band it, cover them, fold them on top if you have the space for that. That's going to save time, so that you can just take them and hang them in the closet. They're already hung up. So if you can leave items that are already hung, again, that's a time saver. So I would suggest you go ahead and try to do stuff like that. But be intentional with how you pack and make sure you are checking that checklist so that you do not, like I said, forget anything, especially if your child is going a far distance from where you live. Luckily, my daughter is only going to be like 40 minutes away from where we live, so if she forgets something, it's not as hard for us to get it back up there to her. However, I like to be a one and done if I can. So we're going to have everything ready. So like I said, my checklist is going to help me stay organized through the process, even of, okay, on this day, let's get this accomplished this day. And it helps your child too. Your students are already going to be overwhelmed in themselves, them leaving home possibly for the first time. There's excitement, there's fear, there's a lot of emotions they're going through, and so they're not going to need you fussing at them. Get this done. Did you do this? So a good plan of action, even prior to, this 25 days, but if that's all you got, work with what you got. The further out you do these things, I'm telling you, the better. But again, if you're in crunch, these will still help you get through this crunch time. Make you however many days you have list, and for each day, you and your child decide what task will occur on each of those days. That way, they have a expectation of what they need to get done, and you have an expectation of, again, what they should be accomplishing without overwhelming them with too many tasks at one time. So make a little calendar. Okay, then this day we're going to worry about winter clothes. Tomorrow I want you to get together, start packing up all of, your electrical items, and make sure you got your refrigerator, your microwave, your battery, whatever it is. Just give you to decide how the days should flow in preparation, and it'll take a lot of the anxiety off, not only, your student, your child, but off of you too, because it helps you also, again, kind of be organized, especially if you're a procrastinator. That's something I'm not. I've got to know what I'm doing so that when I get to the day, I'm less stressed. Some of you all work in chaos, not me. So we trying to go the organized route. Okay, we going the organized route. So now we know how to pack. We know what we should be doing. We've got to utilize our days. We've got to make this make sense. And now we're at the day before move-in. What should we be doing? What should we be doing? Let's talk about it. Okay, it's the day before move-in, and what should be happening? Everything should be organized at this point. It's the day before. I've given you a minimum of 25 days to get ready, hopefully, if not longer. So that day before move-in, you want to have everything hopefully on the main level, ready to go right in the car. Because first of all, most colleges give you a move-in time. So you got to be there at your time. That's when you get your allotted parking. They will have bins and things out there for you, but you still want to get there on time. And I'm going to talk about that a little later, the actual move-in day. But we're still on the day before. Organization, again, is key to this move. Remember, you're going to put in your car, and probably not till the morning of, depending on where you live. I'm not putting my daughter's stuff in the car the night before. I don't spend too much money. I live in a safe neighborhood, but we not taking no chances. So we'll be loading up the morning of. Her movement time is like 11. So that means, again, remember I said we got like a 40-something minute drive. So that means we really in our heads need to be ready to go by 10. So having everything ready the day before. Who's driving with us if you need help? What time are they meeting you at the house? All that needs to be planned, prepped the day before, so that on move-in day, it's as easy breezy as it can be, because it's still going to be a little bit of just a lot. It just is. So day before, you're spending time, that checklist is checked. The checklist is checked. The stuff's been packed. Everything's in the pile. Even how you set it up in your house, of how you put it in your car, remember, might make the difference in when you're taking it out of the car and what goes first, what you can find, what you have your hands on. Because my baby got a lot of stuff. She just does. Most kids do. They have a lot of stuff. They be surprised. You be surprised cleaning out their room, the stuff you buy. They have a lot of stuff. So this organized chaos helps. Be prepared. Your child may not sleep. You may not sleep. You know, it's just a big moment for a lot of parents too, sending their babies off to college, away from home. It's a big moment for us as parents as well. So that night before really needs to be as relaxed as possible for everyone. Nobody wants to wake up the morning of move. So no one is going to want to wake up the morning of the move in a bad mood. It serves no one. It serves no one. So yesterday's planning made all the difference in the world, because today is what? It's move-in day. So move-in day, get up, have you a light breakfast, because you're probably not going to be able to stop and get some lunch, you know, for a minute after you get your child situated. So have you a light breakfast, stop on the road, get something, whatever you're doing, put something on your stomach so that you're not hangry. Because if you're like me and my family, if we hungry, we hangry. And we don't want to be hungry and angry. We don't want to do it. So make sure you got something on your stomach. You start your day off right. Start your day in prayer. You know, ask for that angel to be about you. Ask for this move to go smoothly. You know, just get yourself in a mental state of comfort and get prepared. So now everybody's at the house. We're packing the car up. Remember how we pack matters. We're off to school. When you get there, and most schools probably do this. I know U of M, Ann Arbor, they definitely do. They have tons of student helpers out there. Tons of people to direct you. You're going to be doing this for the first time. Even if you've done it before, my kids are moving into two totally different dorms from where I moved my other daughter. This is a brand new location, brand new dorm, brand new way they're going to do things. So I don't know. It's going to be a brand new experience. But usually they've got tons of people out there to help you, and you'll know they're helpers by what they have on, because you will also see a ton of students, parents, friends, family, whatever, also in the college apparel. So everybody's going to be probably repping the school a lot of times with t-shirts and shirts to say whatever the school name is. So be prepared to see that. But the helpers will have on a different shirt. It'll be something you'll know they're there to help. And a lot of times they approach you, hey, do you need some help? Usually there are big rolling bins. So when you unpack your car, you do have big bins that you can put things in. Depending on how much stuff your kid has, you may have to make 2 trips, maybe 3, I don't know. So have someone maybe who can stand outside on the sidewalk where all the things are unloaded while you load up what you can in the bin and take it up. You may have to have a dolly, especially if you have like a refrigerator, something like that, and you've got to go up multiple floors. And I'm telling you now, you can wait for elevators, but depending on the dorm, and again, remember this moving, it's just not your kid moving in at this time. There's hundreds of kids moving in. So sometimes the steps are better, faster. Sometimes you're gonna have to wait for that elevator. And that's why I say eat, have your patient pants on. It's no sense in trying to do the hurry up, because you're going to have to hurry up and wait then, because it just is. It's a ton of kids moving in, so have a dolly. You know, remember your tools you may need if your kid's going to loft their bed. You'll be able to get up there, but you do only have a certain amount of time. And that's just a certain amount of time you can usually leave your car in this particular spot, because they need to free those spots up for the next kids who are moving in. And they usually give you about an hour. So is it going to take an hour to move in? Absolutely not. It's going to take a lot longer than that to truly get your child's room set up, bed made, cleaned up, go to the grocery store, all of the things. It's going to take longer than an hour, but you will have at least an hour where you can leave your car before you have to move it, at least at this school. Now, other schools, I can't speak on their policy. And again, I might find that I'm going to experience something different as well, because like I said, we're moving into a different dorm. So I don't know their way yet. I just don't know how they're going to do things. And I'm not sure. I think my daughter's on the 4th. I don't even know what floor she's on. So I ain't even going to put it out there if she's on the 2nd. If she's not on the 1st, that means I got some steps or at least a level. So we have to be prepared. Single moms, sisters, I love you, queens. I do. Try to find you as much support. Get your sister circle. Get your uncle, cousin, brother, daddy, someone. Get you some help. Don't try to do this by yourself, because it is a lot. And again, remember I talked about moving the car, unloading the car, maybe moving it up steps, making multiple trips. Get you a team. Get you some help. Have all that planned out. Don't think you're going to be... You can. We could do all things in Christ who strengthens us. However, get you a support system for the move. Get you some help. The more you have... And I'm not saying you need 400 people. No. But might need you a good, 3-4 adults. You're going to definitely need that help. Okay, so have it planned. Have people who are going to also have good attitudes, not complainers, not nitpickers. Someone who are going to add to the experience and not suck the life out of the experience. Again, if you have little kids, if at all possible, I would suggest you try to get a babysitter. I would not, especially if you're talking about stroller kids and all of that. Is it doable? Again, everything is doable. Most things are doable. But because they're going to be so many different people trying to maneuver the same space you are, get through these hallways, move this stuff, cars, it's a lot happening. Having younger children or even children who can't really assist are more in the way, and you got to watch them, and not because the rooms are not big for all that. You're already going to be several people in the room trying to help unpack, and there's so much going on that if at all possible, I would highly suggest that you try to limit having to bring very young and younger kids. Yes, you want brothers and sisters to see. Maybe they can come up a different day. I don't know. Naturally you do have to do what you got to do, but I would suggest that. Leave little kids home. It's just a lot of chaos already happening, and so you don't want them all in the midst and your emotions getting worked up because you have your little baby there and someone else maybe isn't. I don't know. You just leave the babies at home if you can. Okay. So, getting in the room, get your stuff set up, clean the bed, unpack what you can. Again, at the school my baby goes to, from my prior experience, when it came to any boxes, like whether it was the refrigerator box, any box we might have brought something in that was brand new and we needed to throw it away. Some schools allow you to just put it in the hallway and they come around with a bin and pick it up. Some schools you have to physically take it out yourself, but they do have places provided because they know these kids are coming with a ton of boxes. So there are places that you can go and throw things away. And also, some schools also have places that the kids can go, and I don't know if they had to already do it or to be out. We've never done it, but I know it's done at schools, like especially seniors who are moving out, kids who are transferring out, dropping out, whatever. They sometimes leave out stuff that they don't want. So it might be a refrigerator. There might be a microwave out there that you can take because this kid just doesn't want to take it with them or whatever. But don't quote me on that one. Okay. So now, once we get as much as we can within our hour time frame of my daughter, or if we get somebody to go move the car, at some point we usually stop because now we're starving. We've already been here a few hours, remember, because I said it's going to take more than an hour. We go to the grocery store. So have that residual money for the grocery store, because, you know, especially if your kid's taking up a refrigerator, they're going to want their own little pop or coffee or whatever it is. So you may have to do a grocery store run. You know, you maybe couldn't get the curtain to cover their closet because you didn't know the dimensions, and maybe things, you know, you still need to pick up. So we always usually do a grocery store run too once we get physically in the room, see the size. You know, again, I try to buy most of the stuff prior to, watch videos, you know, on the school moving days. You can usually on YouTube find the school your kid is going to and find some move-in videos. And I would say, though, pay attention to the date the video was put up, because you don't always want to go on the reference of a video that was 8 years ago versus a video that's a lot more recent. So when I'm watching for my daughter, the dorm she's going to be in, how I tried to prep, there weren't a lot, but I was more interested in the ones that were newer versus the ones that have been posted from, you know, several years back. So yeah, be prepared to go to the grocery store, come back, get your kid as set up as possible. Mom, Dad, if you can, please don't just drop your baby off and say, okay, my job here is done, it's on you. Try to help them get that room as organized, as feeling like home now, as comfortable before you leave them. Also for their roommate, you know, they don't want to walk into a whole bunch of crap. You know, your child, again, is probably overwhelmed with leaving home, all these new experiences. So I really make sure I'm not leaving until I know my baby is good. So by the time we usually leave for that day, that's what I say, it's not an hour, it's multiple hours. We're going to stop and eat some lunch. Some schools, again, they had it there too. We didn't even realize it till after we ate. But they had pizza set up and chips and pop and stuff. So, again, can't guarantee that. Another don't quote me on, but, you know, the school might provide little move-in foods, refreshments for you too. So move-in day, you got your baby off to college. How does it feel? We don't know yet. That's to come. And I am going to film, I'm going to show you some of when we moved my daughter in a couple years ago to her dorm. And now I can post where she was since she's not there anymore. So you'll know what dorm that was. And then I'm going to also give you all a checklist of all of the things that we bought. And you can use that as a reference guide, you know, and things that I still haven't got but still need to get, because like I still need to get her, because we're in Michigan, I need to get her a new winter coat, some new winter boots for days, you know, when she's walking to camp, class, or has to catch the bus or whatever. Haven't got that yet, because I know I got a little time, but that's still, you know, things you have to think about. You don't want your child out there freezing and don't have the proper attire depending on the weather of the school they're attending. So again, if you're here in Michigan, baby, it get cold here. It gets cold, and I don't want my child out having frostbitten because she's trying to walk to school in some freaking gym shoes and, you know, 2-3 inches of snow or more, an inch of snow, any snow, you know, or just, you know, these kids out here in just these hoodies like that's a coat. No. So have some things we still haven't got, but for the most part, I'm going to put a list together of things that you should think about getting if you can. The more time you take, senior moms, if you know your baby's graduated and that's not even a question in your head because of their grades, they've already proven they're going to get there. You know, if your baby's still questionable, you know, or they haven't decided if they even want to go to college, hold off. But if you have a senior and you know your child's going to college, they've been talking about it, you're planning for it, start planning now. take every bit of that senior year to do some of these things. So it'll save your pocket when you have a few extra. Take your bottle money, heck, I don't know, and then that's when you go and whatever the bottle money is, that's how much we spending on. Do what you got to do, but preparation is gonna be key. I'm gonna share some more with you. I'm definitely gonna upload a video of our actual move-in this year as well. But I'm gonna share with you some of the last move-in we did, and I hope this helps. Happy move-in. I am preparing to be an empty nester, so this is gonna be a big deal for me. Okay, you all, so here's where I'm talking about the bins you're going to be given to put your stuff in. And also, you see the dolly there for the refrigerator, so that's going to be a huge help. And I have my sister there because, as you see, we're not going to get everything we need in one load. So somebody has to stand out there with the stuff we can't get in the bin the first time. We're going to unload that in the room and then come back. So here my daughter's taking up the first load of stuff, and then we're going to reload this basket again. So you see what I'm talking about, this organized chaos. You definitely don't want to do this. This is what we did the first time when we just had stuff she packed kind of haphazard. But next time around, definitely it's going to be a lot more organized. And then you also see what I'm talking about you have a roommate, so they don't want to come in to all this foolishness too. So try to help your baby get everything together.